Welcome in the ring, folks. Let's fight. A very good evening to each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from tonight. Share the live, smash that emoji button, folks. So many technical challenges we're dealing with this evening, guys, but we're still gonna bring to you folks the news and information, the entertainment that you guys come around for so often. Thanks for joining us wherever you're joining us from tonight, guys. Share the live, as we say, smash that emoji button for us and partner with us as well. Good folks, partner with us as well. So glad to see so many of you already here with us. It's pace and it's power tonight. What's happening there, folks, at the Linden Town Council? They had a protest today. We want to turn our attention to some of that, folks. They had a protest today in the city because the local government commission was meeting to do a very dastardly thing. That's what they're telling us. A very, very dastardly thing, folks. And that's where we're picking up the broadcast from this evening. We're ready to get right into it, folks. We're ready. We got the fight card set. Folks, we got the opener set as well, and we're ready to get right to it. Good to see each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from tonight. Glad that you guys are out front and out here with us from the many places that you guys usually join us from. As we said, folks, share the live, smash that emoji button. We got the stars available on Facebook. We got the stickers available on YouTube. Wherever you're rocking and coming from tonight, we're just privileged to see you guys on a Monday, folks. Monday, the 18th day of December already. Can you believe it, folks? Can you believe it? By the time we head into the weekend, folks, we got Christmas staring us in the face. We got Christmas staring us fully and frontally in the face, guys. We got to make the best of it. We got a couple of days left, folks. I hope you all are making a list and you are checking it twice. Good to have Kurt Johnson here with us. Good to have Denise Mitchell. Good to have Leon Logan here with us. Folks, Tessa Waterman says, I rock and come in. Good to have you here, Tessa. Denise Mitchell, good to see you as well. Folks, hit us up on the stars on Facebook. Hit us up on the stickers on YouTube to all our tubers. Good to have each and every one of you beautiful folks here with us. We're so privileged, folks. We are so privileged. And as we said to you, folks, we're picking up on the broadcast tonight. What's happening there at the Linden Town Council, at the Linden municipality? Them boys did it again. We seem to have averted a little, not plenty, a little trouble, folks. A little trouble on the border, right? And we weren't even one through that period because the People's Progressive Party, civic, they talk a good talk, but the walking is something totally different. And this morning, that's part of what we saw this morning, folks. The councillors and others from the Linden Town Council gathered there, the local government commission here in Georgetown, because the local government commission wants to voice a town clerk on the people of Linden. They don't want to listen to the elected council. No, we're going to have our way and you can have your say. That's not how a one Guyana should operate. I'm certain you'd agree with me. And you wouldn't stand for it, those of you who support the other side. If this were the roles in reverse, you wouldn't stand for it. So why are we standing for a local government commission that wants to go through all kinds of hoops to appoint their choice in town clerk? Folks, you must have been following by now that they appointed a town clerk, and then when it was pointed out that they went about it the wrong way, they pull him back, put him as the acting town clerk. Folks, it gets even more bizarre, as you will hear. It gets even more bizarre. But we'll hear from the, ladies and gentlemen, from the mayor of Linden. We're going to hear from the deputy mayor. This is Mr. Shamir Solomon and Dominic Blair, respectively. And we're also going to hear from one of those councillors, Vanessa Kisun, as well, folks, as they bring us up to speed. And then, folks, you can hear how things take a turn for the worse. Take a look, good folks, and take a listen to what they had to say as they protested this dastardly act by the local government commission just today. Take a look, folks. Take a listen.
a democratic process where on the 12th of June, overwhelming residents of Linden chose who they wanted to manage the affairs of the town of Linden. And they chose 8,000 against just over 2,000 voters for the APNU. I think in that sense, it obstructed what you see the PPP recognize, even in that campaign, to have total domination of the political space when you got that victory from you. And so what you're seeing here today is what the council is doing, is demonstrating that we're here to represent what is in interest of good governance against a commission that after the loss of the 12th of June election, at the instruction of the People's Progressive Party, is prepared to hijack the council. So not only with one candidate, and our objection is not to a candidate, our objection is to the process. A process that immediately after resignation that should have given 1 month's notice, so the council could have prepared to ensure that we have a smooth transition. You had a resignation of 5 days from the last town clerk. What is fortunate for this council is at the statutory meeting of the 1st of November, the 1st of November statutory asked that the local government commission considered 3 positions put forward by the council. First, that the senior most officer in the council act until that individual is so allowed to put out those ads and work with the council to get the third option, which is to ensure that we open up the process for persons to send in application. That was not done. Instead, what the commission did on the 7th was to impose on us an individual, sending to us a letter, giving a substantive position to this individual as town clerk. We objected to that. And in that objection, we saw subsequent, no notice came to us because the council did not engage this individual because we weren't clear on what status this individual holds. You give us a letter, commission, saying this is your town clerk. We objected. A week after, we're advertising for a town clerk. So we would have gone to a council to do business with who? We sought clarification. And we never got the clarification, even to say if the individual was acting town clerk, because the commission would have had to say how that came about. The powers given to the commissioners through the chairman and the deputy chairman allows them to make decisions on emergency basis. They would have had to justify that. So instead of answering to the council, what we see in today is the commission trying to maneuver and to whip up its own maneuvering of mistakes that it would have committed. Let me say further, these applications, it is not a question to ask whoever was acting as clerk if they ever refused to collect correspondence from the mayor office. It's to ask them how many times they did that. Because in that refusal to accept correspondence coming to the mayor's office, and I want us to realize, whoever put out the ad, allow for the ad to be addressed that any applicant can send their application to the mayor and town council or to the local government commission. It is for that to be addressed and forwarded to the commission. The individual who was seated there refused any correspondence coming from the mayor's office, which included those applications, as he was the sole custodian of the process. And today what we see manifesting itself, that sole individual is now aligning himself to be anointed the clerk of the town. That is what we're here to represent, a badly handled matter that the commission from every step of being checked continues to put itself in a very awkward position to justify how to use an illegitimate situation to legitimize someone. And that's what's happening here right now. So we're here in the interest of good governance to ensure the government of Guyana don't use constitutional commissions like the local government commission to hijack your democracy in the area of good governance especially.
Mr. Solomon, are you prepared to go into the chairman and commissioners to have your concerns known
We are here. We are hoping that we are given the opportunity. The commission is one that works in the interests of our local government agency. We don't necessarily think we have the right, except we are here to express to the local government commission that, you know, as a council, we have every right to come to the commission and find out as a council what is happening. So we'll be waiting to be invited upstairs and to be given an opportunity to see exactly what those concerns are.
If the process is not being followed, what next?
Well, I think it's for two things. The rest of Guyana to see that the process is not being followed. I think it's important for us to inform and enlighten people about the threat towards our democracy, especially as it relates to good governance, and especially in the local government arena. So I think this is very, very important. Our next steps will follow based on the next steps of the commission.
Like we said before, we want the process to work. We want good governance to reign. We would like all applicants to have a fair chance. We must not be bullied into accepting only the applications that the commission is saying that they receive, when we know that mails were sent to the mayor's office was not received from the individual that was imposed on the Linden Town Council. And we have seen this over the years, and this type of bullying by this government. And so we're here today to say, you know, enough is enough, and we have this sort of behavior continuing, because all we're asking for is for the process to work. And like was said by the mayor, I think he gave the entire process. And even in the sending out of the advertisement for the vacancies, there was fraud in that. Even after the resignation of the former town clerk, within days, you know, someone or an individual was imposed on the council. So we're here today to ensure and to send a message and to let persons know that we will continue to stand up for what is right. We will continue to speak out, and we will continue to ensure that local democracy reigns, good governance and local democracy.
All right. We have some members of the law enforcement that showed up, and you know, the usual, they would take photograph, take a name, take a shot of the voter's card, etc., etc. This is where the office of the local government commission is located. You see the building there.
Welcome back, folks. That is only some of what happened today. Dan Abrams, Rohan Basantram, that is only some of what some folks, some of what happened today outside of the local government commission here in Georgetown. Guys, let me tell you, it's about to get more bizarre. It's about to get more bizarre. When you think it can get more bizarre, well, hold on. Hold on to your seats. It's just about to get a little bit more bizarre. Where are you joining us from? Welcome in the ring, folks. Share the live, smash that emoji button, and partner with us as well. We're talking about the imposition of a town clerk on the Linden Town Council, folks, and how bizarre it has gotten. So number one, they sent a town clerk the local government, at least some of them there, appointed a town clerk to the Linden Town Council without following the right procedure. They want one Mr. Gasper, Lennox Gasper. Gasper. I didn't say Gasper, I said Gasper, to be the town clerk there in Linden. You see, because he is a lackey, he's a yes man, he's a soup drinker for the PPP. So they want him to be town clerk. So they sent him, they quote unquote appoint him, but they did it the wrong way. They didn't even rescind the appointment. They then appointed him as acting town clerk while they tried to correct the system. And as Guyanese, we all have a right to be outraged, folks, about this. We all have a right. They didn't even rescind the appointment. They appointed him to act. And now, folks, now you have such a situation where applications were received as they now started to try to do the right thing after advertising for the position of town clerk. Applications were received, but weren't forwarded to the local government commission for consideration. Guyana is not a real place. One Guyana is not a real place. Listen to what local government commissioner Nicola Trotman said today to the media. Nicola Trotman, local government commission. Listen to it get bizarre now. Listen to it get bizarre. There is no length the People's Progressive Party will not go to because they want their man, their woman in a certain position. There is no length. No, at all. So listen to what the local government commissioner, Nicola Trotman, told the media today as she came out of that meeting that was happening there to crown, to appoint, to anoint Lennox Gasper as the town clerk for the Linden municipality. Take a listen to what she said.
Of the appointment of the acting town clerk in Linden, I raised the objection that there were other applicants whose applications were not considered. They indicated that they did not receive the applications. However, it was acknowledged by the secretary and the HR manager that municipalities and NDCs can receive applications because they're the ones running the ads for the positions can be received processes because the municipalities or the NDCs run the ad. It is naturally understood that they can receive the applications, and then that application, the said application, is forwarded and dropped in the box of the commission. Unfortunately, this was not done, and so the other persons who would have applied are now disqualified because Mr. Gasper decided not to accept the applications. It's a very sad day, and I've excused myself from the process of Mr. Gasper's. I'd just like to update on the process. As the municipalities or the NDCs run the ad, it is naturally understood that they can receive the applications, and then that application, the said application, is forwarded and dropped in the box of the commission. Unfortunately, this was not done. And so the other persons who would have applied are now disqualified because Mr. Gasper decided not to accept the applications. It's a very sad day, and I've excused myself from the process of Mr. Gasper's interview because I don't think it's a fair one, and I don't think that it is fair to the other persons who would have applied. So the chairman, Commissioner Norman Whitaker, and Commissioner Carol Subo. And they will, I am assuming, I'm not sure, but I guess the process will play out, and then we will see who is the person.
Yeah, folks, you think you understand what's happening here? You think you understand what is happening here? We played it twice for those of you who might have been shocked the first time and think you're hearing the wrong thing. So what Commissioner Nicola Trotman is explaining to us, the fellow who himself is being interviewed for the job and was interviewed for the job today, was also tasked with receiving applications for the very position. But according to the commissioner alleges that he didn't forward those applications that he received for the same position. He didn't forward those applications, folks. Apologies. He didn't forward those applications. You heard that? He didn't forward them to the local government commission. This is the one Guyana we talk about. You heard that? We avoided a little trouble. And one Guyana down the drain again. And we're right back to square one. You think you understand or you overstand how this country operates, folks? A man who himself is to benefit from the process, is tasked with receiving applications, but he forwarded that. Commissioner Nicola Trotman said that was brought before the commission and they accepted that other applications were sent, but he was still interviewed. Now, if a man like that would do that and he's being rewarded, you understand why this country, Karen Archibald, candidly Linden got the kind of government it has. So that's not a big thing. Rock can come in, Town Clerk. That's not a big thing. That's not a big infraction. Right? That doesn't go to character. Dolly Anderson, Diane Abrams, that doesn't go to character and so on. Small thing, man. You heard the application, so what? You heard those allegations from the commissioner. You didn't forward the application, the rest of the application, because you don't want the work, so what? The one refrain, this is Guyana. We don't accept it. And we know we can change it. But it is what it is for the time that it is, folks. You understand the kind of work that we got to do? I'm seeing some of the comments here. Amelia Dennis, Dolly Anderson, Kyle Bino, Antia Atkins, Donald Liverpool. This is the kind of country we're going to inhabit. I think the commissioner did the right thing. Excuse herself from that meeting. I'm not going to put my name rubber stamping a fraudulent, wicked, devious process. We're not going to be a part of that. And so I think the commissioner did the right thing, folks. Donald Liverpool, Amelia Dennis, share it live, smash that emoji button, Roxanne Garraway, so as many persons as possible can continue to get valid and credible information. Little Roxanne that says only in Guyana, Andrew Griffith, Eva Mattis, Leslin, only in Guyana, folks. somebody excuse me following in the 592 tonight. Andrea Jarvis, we see you there. Lester, somebody excuse. Folks, we are following. Before we let you go, we started late. We had a lot of technical challenges, but we're here nonetheless. We got some information we want to share with you, some additional information. Before we let you go, folks, if a system is willing to accept a fellow like that, who would put aside the competition Don't forward the application. That's what the allegations are. He didn't forward the other applications. You understand the kind of country we're heading to with what we have currently? That's why you and I got to work doubly hard. We got to work doubly hard. Yolanda's Farmers, Alexis Mingo Byrne, Joe Newton, we got to work doubly hard. Doubly hard. Emily, that much harder, folks. That much harder. And from what the Court of Appeal told us today, even more hard. Even more hard. Even more hard we got to work. Based on what the Court of Appeal said, they didn't agree with us that Elections Petition 88 and that Order 60 was unconstitutional, illegal, void, and of no effect. They didn't agree with us. They didn't. But I'm happy that we know the kind of government we had. When you look at them boy operate, you can sit down and interview a man who accepting applications, didn't forward them to you for consideration for the same post he is seeking. And if that doesn't outrage every Guyanese, then we get a government we deserve. We got a government we deserve. So the Court of Appeal didn't agree with us with our strong, cogent arguments. But folks, I'm not going to beat up on the justices there. They did what they had to do judicially. And folks, we will have to do what we have to do politically, because we got a country to build, all of us, to move forward. And we got to do it together. This one Guyana ain't working. This one Guyana is not working. So as Dr. Rodney said so many years ago, Dr. Walter Rodney, another world is necessary. This one Guyana ain't panning out for everybody. It's some of the top, getting all the cream and all the sweet. God help the rest of us. There's no working out for everybody. This one Guyana. You see, another world is necessary. Another Guyana is necessary. I like the one people, the one nation, the one destiny Guyana. So they didn't agree with us. But I ain't going to beat upon them. No. No. And I look somewhere else. If you're looking for a little something for say, oh, look at the views up and the thing down at the justice. No. Folks, we got to work that much. You all remember boxing Animal Farm? Yeah. You remember boxing Animal Farm? What's Animal Farm here? Every day Boxer woke up. Boxer said, I must work harder. Was it Boxer? I think it was Boxer. I must work harder. I must work harder. It's not them, it's me. Truth. The good book requires of us on the inward parts. I must work harder. I must work a little harder and do a little better to move us along back to where we belong. And now with these jagabats and trench crapos, now with these fat balls and secretaries, now with these Jebusites, Philistines and Pharisees, not with them. Together, folks, they didn't agree with us. Together, we got to move this country forward. Together, we got to move this country forward and keep doing good and positive things. That's why we're happy to see the case management filing system. A new one is going to be implemented for the court system and to link state agencies. It's a step in the right direction. A step in the right direction. We don't have all the answers, and definitely this installed regime, they don't have all the answers either. Clearly, or one Guyana would be functioning much better. Much better. And so we got to keep improving the court system, improving the justice system, fighting for truth, be on the vanguard for a better judicial system, folks. And we're happy to see that some strides are being made. Delighted, folks, to see some strides are being made in the right direction. Look at another step in the right direction here. Don't let's sit down and wait, folks. GCOM giving us our march in order to stick it. GCOM is announcing that next month, bright and early, the start of open objection. Bright and early, folks. We are on a trajectory for the next general and regional election. Y'all sit down. Let me ring the bell for GCOM. Ring the bell for GCOM. Y'all sit down, folks. Next general and regional election is upon us. And folks, we're going to take some time off next week, the first week in January, so that we can plan, rest, folks, and refire for the new year. We're retiring. Shucks. We're refiring, folks. We got an election upon us. Right? What are you going to do about it? Make sure you're registered. You see? Make sure your name spelled right. Make sure, first and last, make sure your address is the correct one. Good. If you ain't got a ticket in this election, if you ain't got a ballot, you ain't got a chance, folks. So here is your opportunity to make sure that your details are true and correct. Make sure. Please and thank you. GCOM has announced, good folks, that beginning next month is the start of claims and objection. And some of y'all in the diaspora, y'all gotta withhold some remittances from some folks, Send it our way. We can make good use of it. You got your family and they on y'all all the time. Ask them the tough questions. You registered? You check to see if your name right. Ask them the tough questions. You check for your neighbor. You check for the children. You check for your better half, the worst half. You check. Please and thank you. We got to keep each other responsible, folks. And if next year, January, we ain't talking about general and regional election, we're wasting time. We're wasting time. Too much in fighting. Who want to be leader? Who want to be this? Who want to be that? Folks, let's pick up the pace a little bit. Please and thank you. Let us pick up the pace just a little bit. You see? We got a destiny to mold. Who know? No. We got a destiny to mold, folks. Who knows? You check your name. You check your address. You check to see if your dead auntie, your dead husband, still on the list. You know some neighbors dead long ago, name still on the list. You got to make an objection. You got to make an objection, folks. Please and thank you. That's happening beginning next month. Right? Happening next month. But look at the Jacobats now. the church crop poles. The cat poles and the cricketers. Look story now. Some dead horses, they're flogging, I ain't talking about animal here. Some dead horses, they're flogging. Some dead ideas, they're still trying with this a mile of fall thing here. They extended deadline now, I think, to December 30th, December 28th or 30th, concerning project proposals. Folks, if you got a good business idea, you see, you got a decent project, right? You don't have to wrap it up fancy, put ribbon bow on it and all of that. The thing can sell itself, The thing can sell itself, but this a mile of falls in selling. It's how many years now? They set a deadline for project proposals. Who want to buy to own, operate some convoluted story. Nobody buying, nobody biting. Nobody biting. People watch the business climate here and they shake their heads. A man say he bought the Marriott, they can't transfer the thing to the man yet. The man threatened publicly. The man threatened publicly. Now I give you money to help you build a project that you can charge me a price. To pay myself, to pay you. And then people saw the photographs with global warming and all of that. The falls dry up the other day. Nobody buying the thing, folks. So they've now extended the deadline. You all saw what's happening with the Kingston seawall. This seawall used to be such a lovely place. Now for about 3 miles out is mud and muck. Once in a while the water coming in. Once in a while you're seeing, reflections of that former glory. But for the most part it's just mud and muck. Global warming is upon us. So we don't know. if it's 364 of 5 days of the year, the fall's gonna be dry, but them boys want to pump billions of dollars into this Amila Falls hydro project. That's dead in the water for all intents and purposes. Kwame no but dead. Anil no but dead. Dead in the water. But they're flocking this horse, hoping by some miracle it's going to start to giddy up. Not so much. Not so much. It's one of the things we're talking. Nobody buying it. They might get extended to next year, December. They might just have to extend it to next year, December, good folks. That's one of the things we're looking at tonight, good folks. One of the things we're following. Look, another story here now. The gas to shore. Another goodie, quote unquote, as we say colloquially. Another goodie to fetch the gas to shore. They said they've gotten a fair amount of feedback on the gas strategy, and they can try to implement. Folks, y'all know this fella. When he say walk, run. When he say walk, run, good folks, he said he got a lot of feedback. A lot of feedback. They can put it now into the strategy. Let's see how it goes. You know what they said? They ain't got no takers on this either. So they can pump your taxpayers' dollar and our oil money into it until they say others come on board. They're going to stand the cost to the oil, to the gas to shore on your behalf, because you tell them you want gas on the shore. And all these lavish promises, what they're not going to do and what they're not going to do. And sometimes you hear Exxon echoing them. And maybe y'all are right. But y'all tell us, Skeldon was to produce so much profits. Skeldon was to produce so much power. How many years, good folks? You got that y'all off a Santa good list though. How many years are we still waiting? How long shall we tarry with these failed ideas? How long? Now they come selling us dreams here. They come selling us dreams. But let's see how it goes. Good folks, we gotta wait and see how it goes. The verdict is out. The verdict is out. We gotta wait to see how it goes. But look, story here now. Some we don't are good, you know. Some we don't do good. It's a terrible way in which men in this country treat our women folk. A terrible way. Very terrible way. A very violent country in that regard. Gender-based violence, the way we treat women and girls, especially. That's why when justice gets served, it is what it is. A man was given 40 years, Julius Branco, for rape. Don't violate like that. Please, don't violate. 40 years. You can pick up soap. 40 years. Violate. If you want to violate, you can be violated. Apologies. You want to violate, you're going to be violated. That's what the good book says. That's what the good book says. If you choose that you can take a life, your life will be taken. Plain and simple. So he was given 40 years. Raped a young woman, took her innocence at knife point. 40 years. Wherever you're joining us from tonight, 40 years. And then he appealed. The next one, Kurt Michael Andrew Coates. He appealed. Wrong bank. Wrong bank. Wrong bank. I see the light one raising an interesting issue here. A very interesting issue in the comment section. I'll turn my attention to it in a second. He appealed the sentence. Well, the court gave him life without parole now. He appealed the 40 years. The Court of Appeal, life without parole. Keep yourself to yourself. But you know the devil is whispering a lot today. Repeat, Peter. The devil is whispering the ears plenty because the ears open. Plenty. Right. I say justice is done. Full stop. May that young lady go on with her life and live victorious. Live a good, strong life. Forgetting that incident as much as possible. Life without parole. We got to get very serious with this thing, you know. That's how we going to beat back this foolish scourge on our society. The viciousness of which men attack women sexually in this country is reprehensible. He like 40 years to contemplate on his actions and be violated. He will take life now. Without the possibility of parole. That's what the court said. Without the possibility of parole. Nice time. Moving on, folks. Signs of the times is all over. Signs of the times in Guyana, folks. It's all over. We ain't gonna look far. As soon as you open your door in the morning, you see signs of the times. All around us. All around the signs of the times. Dear friends, brothers and sisters, wherever you're joining us from tonight, share the live, smash that emoji button as we wrap up. Look, signs of the times. 2-year-old drunk on an outing on the Essequibo River. Fell overboard, and that is it. That is it, folks. That is it. Life cheap in this country. Cheap. 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 I grew up hearing children gotta be supervised. Don't take your exam them protected. Don't take your exam them protected. I see people there lecturing up doing their own story and I sleep with you sleeping too. Tuck in. I sleep with you sleeping to tuck in. Please and thank you. Don't you miss children? That devil out there now. 2-year-old drunks. Just like every day. It's the bizarreness of this country. Celebrating the National Year of Prayer. Young credit me with it when you hear them announce it. National Year. You want a day, a week, a month, whole year. And if you get you vex, take 2. National Year of Prayer. 2-year-old drunk. Just like that, like it's nothing. And life goes on. What I saw in the comment section, I was averting to. What the late one said. What happened with this helicopter crash, the investigation? We haven't heard anything from those 2 surviving soldiers as yet. We haven't heard anything. I find that fascinating. Wilma Grant, and it's what we accept, Dan Graves Andy, Vesta Hardy, Rajkumar, as a nation. It's not what people do to us. It's what we allow them and what we accept from this installed regime. 5 dead. 2 survived, and we haven't heard from them as yet. We haven't heard their story, their narrative, their side of the circumstances that led to the downing of this plane. Yvette Miller, 20 children died. A minister had a report from UNICEF that she commissioned. That said these dorms needed work. She didn't do anything of it, and she never get called to the inquiry to hear her side, to have her put her explanation, and we move forward like that. Now 5 soldiers died. And life goes on. We don't know if it's mechanical, if it was shut down, if it was the lightning strike, this chopper. What happened there? These guys got blood in the hand, you know. You think it's one wickedness. This installed regime involving folks, this government is crosses. Every living day, the things that befell and befall, betwixt and between, this government is a studying supernatural phenomena. It's a crossing government, Savage Tish. Tommy Gibbs, Albert is a cross, is a pack of crosses. It's Alibaba and the fourth cross. The things that befall this regime. Heaven help us. Heaven help. We can't hear from these 2 soldiers as yet. We can't hear from them. We can't hear from them. Peace and power, nonetheless. The British said we still stand up with y'all. We still backing we all on this border controversy. I don't care what Irfan go and tell Maduro with the binders and the binders with the newspaper clippings that are frightening so bad. I don't care what confabulation they talk. This thing was established, done, full, fine, and complete since 1899. Full and final and perfect since 1899. I know they're trying to sell us. They're trying to sell us down the road. I don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. Give me all a chance to repent and be born again. He give you all a chance. Please accept it. Accept it. He give you all a chance. Repent and make straight the way of the Lord. Be thankful for the British. You'll never see in your life again another program like this. He's giving us another chance. We're so thankful for the British who's standing with us. And they sent their minister today, David Rutley, to bring that message. I hope you're fun. Something the British know that we don't know, you know. The British watch this whole confabulation here and how we drifting to Latin America and to Putin. Into Putin's hand, the British come and say, breaks up your fun. You know what you're doing, Big Sahib? Big Sahib, you know what you're doing? Jesus have mercy. Father, help we. Crossing government. Whole crossing government. Help us, Father. Help us. Parliament tomorrow, they're coming for money. More money, 25.9 billion. Where the money going? Huh? Some people say we'd be good in British hands still. Some people vote to have us rejoin there. Could it get worse under the British? Where the oil money going? That's what folks want to know. Where the oil money going, folks? Where it going? That question deserves an answer. Look, story now. Accident report. Accident report, folks. The Minister of Agriculture vehicle was involved in an accident. I lived the minister without rider and sirens and all of that. Could be involved in an accident. What's to do with the rest of us, folks? What's to become of the rest of us if the Minister of Vehicle, Minister of Agriculture, every day in this country is something. Every day we fed up. Can't get a break. Can't get a break in this country. It's one nonsense to the next. One story to the next. You see? You hear? You pray for us. Those of you people of faith, pray for this country. We beg of you. We need it. We're in a bad spot. Every day is a studying supernatural phenomenon to deal with us here in this country. In this country. Take a look at some of what we saw on the West Coast Berbice Public Road at Fowles, West Coast Berbice, folks. Take a look. Take a listen. Yeah, I'm just happy we're not going to be planning a state funeral. I'm just happy. I'm just happy. A car slammed into the minister's vehicle. That's the report. The minister and other personnel sustained minor injury, taken to a city hospital where they were treated and released. Wouldn't that have been something? You just bury 5 soldiers and then he's onto something. Oh, what is it? You're Hindu, Muslim, Jew or Gentile. Pray for this country of ours. Something wrong with us here. Guyana has the most dangerous roadways in the world. That piece of highway there at Fowles. You're heading to the Abari Bridge there, coming out of Region 5. Coming out of Region 5. It's not a heavily traversed area. But it's the wildness with the folks in this country. Bare wildness. Bare wildness. Happy the minister's okay. Happy the minister's okay. It's bare wildness in this country. Bare wildness. That being said, folks, the closer, back channels. Back channels. You know who got the back channels for us? Professor Shamir Ally, former ambassador to Kuwait, on a number of issues in Kuwait and elsewhere, folks. And that's the close of this evening. Take a look, take a listen, and see you good folks on the other side. On the other side.
Listeners in Guyana and globally, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we still remember with condolences the 5 GDF soldiers who perished and also the 16th Emir of Kuwait who passed away last Saturday. We also wish to remember for speedy recoveries the 2 GDF officers. Also, we wish best wishes to the 17th Emir of Kuwait. The new Emir was sworn in on Saturday. And also today, December the 18th, is Qatar National Day. I just returned from the Doha Expo 2023. I was a guest of the Qatar ruling families in my circle, and I spent some time looking at the pavilions. There are 88 countries' pavilions, and I happened to look about 38 of them. My 7 best pavilions, if I'm to rate them, will be Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait. Algeria was a surprise to see what Algeria is doing with solar and with agriculture. Ethiopia was another huge surprise to me, and Pakistan and Guyana was the remaining 2 for my 7 top ratings from what I saw on my visit. During my time, I used the opportunity to listen to everybody who is in the negotiating team in Qatar. I do have friends who are Jews in New York, in the war with Israelis, and I've also lost good friends in Palestine. So I have no skin in the game. I only hope that there is peace. What is not known in the Western world is that Hamas started as a sports club, cricket, football, volleyball. Then they branched on to assisting communities with food and housing and little shelter. And then they were supported by Israel. Yes, Israel supported Hamas because they didn't want the 2-state solution, particularly President Bibi Netanyahu, Prime Minister. And as a result of it, there was no 2-state solution with the Palestine, and Hamas was part of that movement. What the world does not know popularly, Muslims and Jews are first cousins. So I do not understand why they need for fight. October the 7th was a disaster for the Prime Minister Netanyahu when 1,139 Israelis and foreign nationals, including 695 Israelis, 36 children, 373 security forces, and 71 foreigners were killed. 248 persons were taken hostage. It was a shock for Bibi Netanyahu. And as at 15th of December, 19,000 Palestinians are killed and 64 journalists, 57 Palestinian Israeli citizens, and also 3 Lebanese, and 135 United Nations staff members. Ladies and gentlemen, Recently, with each USA official visit, it appears that Israel is emboldened, and instead of going better, today it's getting worse. Today, this morning in Israel was no exception. The US Secretary of Defense was there, Austin, and with his experiences, it was hoped that he will tell Egypt, stop escalation, open the ceasefire. Instead, he publicly reported that Israel is there to defend themselves and they will make the decisions. And he's going to Bahrain tomorrow, trying to get the Bahrainis and the other nations to have a ship kind of a defense for what is now happening in the Red Sea. The Israel War Cabinet met, and it's a strategic defeat, and they're very worried. UN officials says that Israel is now using starvation as a weapon of war, and this is not very, very good. Last Friday, there was a meeting in Washington with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Jordan, Turkey, and the Palestinian Authority, where this is being discussed. Tomorrow in Palestine, there will be another meeting continuing, but things are not happening. 8 planes are carrying aid, but the aid is not reaching. It appears that new negotiations are on the way, but there are conditions on both sides as at right half an hour ago, and nothing is being done. Well, the question I asked, how many Palestinians support Hamas? I'm told about 85% of the population, or overall 72%. So despite what you're hearing on the Western media, whatever Hamas is doing, good or bad, they have a wide support. The Palestinian government only has 11%, President Mahmoud Abbas. The USA, everyone is saying, with no exception, has the influence to get Israel to stop the war and to ease up the billions of US support in dollars and in weapons. Right now, it is very difficult from what the politics in Washington with the Senate and the House and the power of the Jewish lobby for Biden to make any decision for immediately asking Bibi Netanyahu to stop this war. What is now happening is the Red Sea, where 10% of the trading is going through. The Houthis have now started to accelerate their fight, and that will interfere with world trade. Oil prices are already moved up today to $73, and tomorrow we can expect more oil prices to raise. Guyana will suffer with increased prices for goods and commodities and delays because a 19-day trip will now take 31 days and the insurance rates are skyrocketing. My solution is 7 keys. Immediate ceasefire, Palestinian to have a state with 1967 borders, 2 states to live side by side, USA, UN, and GCC, the rich 6 GCC countries, to guarantee security for Israel. This is Israel's biggest fear, their security. And this can be guaranteed, hopefully this time by the UN, USA, and the 6 GCC countries in my back channel is prepared to do that if they get the Palestinian state with 1967 borders. They also agreed that it's 6 GCC countries right now, only UAE has relationship. The other 5 will open diplomatic relationships for Israel, which will be a win-win-win. And Saudi Arabia is asking for management of the Al-Aqsa Masjid in Jerusalem. Gaza and West Bank to be rebuilt by Israel, because there's an old saying, if you break it, you gotta fix it. If you break the bowl in the china shop, you gotta buy it. Israel, USA, and the GCC will. Global support will be needed for
Thank you, Professor Shamir Ally, former ambassador to Kuwait. Thank you so much, folks. That's going to do it for us at this end, guys. That's our time, and that's our program. Thanks for staying with us, and thanks for being with us. We had some challenges this evening. Thank you so much, guys. I'm letting you know very early, we're going to take a break as of Friday, and we're going to be back on the 8th day of January. We're still going to be pumping out information otherwise, but we're going to take a break with our shows, and we're going to be back after Friday on the 8th day of January. Remember, folks, Friday is going to be our last show for the year, and then we're going to be back on the 8th day of January, but we're going to continue to push out information via credible sources and all the platforms that you're accustomed to. But for the shows, we're going to be back on the 8th day of January, and that's after Friday. Friday is going to be our last show for the year, and we're going to be back in January. So make a note of that, folks. Make a note of that. We need rest too. We need rest. And time to refire. We're retiring. Refiring for the new year. We're going to be back on the 8th and take a break on the 22nd. I think it's Friday. We're going back on the 8th of January, but you will continue to have information on the channels, folks, and on the platform. That being said, folks, that's our time this evening, and that's our program. Stay safe, folks. Stay safe. That's it. That's the last one. Stay safe.